Okay, that must mean it's 6:30. Okay,
Rest of the board is on Zoom. So what's going on?
all right. Well, welcome everyone to the October 25th, 2022 meeting of the Thurston Conservation District Board of Supervisors. Our chair, TJ Johnson, is away. I am the vice chair, Helen Wheatley. And we have with us tonight also Betsy DeVreda, David Ayal, and Doug Rushton. Yeah.
Supervisors.
As supervisors, right? And I think we have some guests too. I can't tell who's at the table, but there's some others present. Well, if we're ready to get started, let's take a look at the agenda and make sure we're happy with that. We've had a few additions.
Do we want to rearrange the timing? So these guys will have to sit through.
Yeah, that's a good
Rearrange.
suggestion that Doug had, Helen. I don't know if you heard that, but maybe we could move our community awards presentation item up to review.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's do that.
I'm not a fan of a lot of these.
Great.
Okay, well, we have, okay, so you're going to move that to item number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then we need to change the time on that too.
I will just delete the time on there.
Okay.
And then just to reiterate what happened in the work session as well, the Thurston County VSP contract amendment was added right after the consent agenda item. And the TCD letter regarding the proposed Thurston County Airport is up as an action item after public comment as well.
Right. Okay. All right, well, let's launch into community awards.
Great. So I'm really excited. I hope that the board can see our guests on the owl, at least in our 360 view. If you move around a lot, the camera will hone in on you. Right. Oh my goodness. You get seasick a little, don't watch. No. Yeah, we're really excited to have a couple of really special volunteers here this evening. I'm going to say a little bit about each of them, and then Doug has some awards to present you guys with tonight, okay? So the first awardee is our 2022 Student Leader of the Year Award. Yeah, it's right there. And this award is presented to Layla, who is an engaged hard worker. Our staff had just a lot of glowing praise, and here's a snippet of the pages of glowing praise that they shared. As well as being responsive, responsible and communicative as a student leader. She also brings a big passion for climate mitigation work, community service, and environmental restoration. She participated in our Teens in Thurston program, not only as a participant of the program in its first year, but she also showed a lot of leadership to her peers throughout this program, bringing friends to a lot of our events, helping to grow the program by offering lots of great ideas for it. So that's something that our staff absolutely really values is being able to take that feedback from the community and then help put that into the design of the program itself. In addition to Teens in Thurston, Layla is a climate activist at Olympia High School and also participates in the Youth Corps program. She's demonstrated drive and dedication to conservation in our community and is an excellent example not only to her peers, but also adults in our area. And so we really want to thank her so much for her leadership. and making a positive statement for our future. So we want to award her with our 2022 Student Leader of the Year Award. Thank you, Layla.
Good job.
Can I take a picture of you? Doug, you have to be in the picture.
Didn't even know about this stuff.
Takes a lot of commitment and engagement.
If you got another photo out.
Oh, yeah, you got to post for that too.
Yes, and you get to keep her letter too. Thank you.
And then the second community award that we want to present tonight is our 2022 Volunteer of the Year Award. This volunteer award is going to Kayla. Thank you for joining us. Kayla has attended many of our volunteer events over the past year and displayed a deep passion for conservation. She's an aspiring farmer who is passionate about sustainable farming. It also shows an eagerness to support the community through restoration and preservation efforts. In addition to her countless hours of service volunteering in the community, she's also served our community and our nation through military service. And we have no doubt that that has made a great impact and difference in our community and the landscape that we share. Specifically, she's offered a lot of her time to uplift and support our mission, as well as the shared missions of a lot of our community partners and local producers. So we want to really thank Kayla for her volunteer service that's far-reaching beyond TCD, and her commitment to conservation and sustainable agriculture and a healthy community for all of us. So thank you so much, Kayla.
Congratulations and thanks. So is your name spelled right?
Yeah, that's great.
Something we should ask ahead of time.
My job.
Good.
Okay.
She grows some amazing gourds too.
Was that the one that you brought to the board meeting?
Yeah,
Yeah.
A board meeting?
everyone one of your words at a board meeting. That's
On the Zoom, it's memorialized in our Zoom recording forever.
Wow. Well, I still have plenty at the farm stand, so come get some before Halloween.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
So, thank you again to our volunteers here.
Go Kayla.
Hey, Betsy.
Cool. Y'all don't have to stick around.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, now comes the less than thrilling part.
You're valuable and your time is valuable. We appreciate that. very
Yes,
much.
and we really hope to work with both of you more.
I'll be at the next team in person.
Yeah.
That's right. Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you both.
Thank you all so much.
Okay.
Betsy, do you have a hand up?
Well, I put it in the chat. Don't we have to approve the agenda?
Yeah, that's funny.
Whoops.
Bye, have fun.
My bad.
Thank you for coming.
Is that a motion, Betsy?
Yeah, let's just make it. a
I was
motion.
waiting for an answer. I didn't hear it. Yes, I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
Okay, so moved by Betsy, seconded by David. Let's go ahead and vote. So Betsy,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
Doug,
Hi.
and I vote aye. And so our agenda is belatedly approved. Sorry about that. Okay. So here, I gotta adjust my screen a little bit here. All right.
Helen, before we move on to the consent agenda, I just want to do a sound check. Can you hear Doug okay in the microphone?
This is Doug speaking. Hello.
Loud and clear.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
It may be hard. So Doug, I don't have your maybe I'm just, my view isn't right, but I don't have you on my gallery. So just wave around if you have something you want to raise your hand about.
I'm on the screen with Sarah.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
like
So
to
just
see
wave
that.
if, if you want to say something, wave.
Okay.
See him,
Okay.
how can you see him waving?
Well, I can see, oh, I just don't have Doug's own box on my screen. So,
Well,
yeah, I can
can
see
wave.
that.
I
So,
can wave. It's easy enough. see?
Yeah. okay, there you go. All right, so next item is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion on that one?
You
I'll
should
move
read
it.
it first.
Okay, thank you. So the items are, just read the items, Betsy, is that what I do?
I believe so.
Okay, so the items are September 27th, 2022 board work session and meeting minutes. And then the October 2022 financial report, RCO agreement, community field STEM in Thurston County, and update B1 2123 WSCC authorized signatures.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, moved by Betsy,
Second.
seconded by David. Betsy, how do you vote?
Aye.
David,
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
And I vote aye, so that one passes. And then the next item, Sarah, you can explain this one. It's the Thurston County VSP contract amendment.
Sure. This amendment was brought to the board during the work session prior to the meeting today. This is an amendment of our existing Thurston County VSP contract, including the funding awards for the 5 VSP cost share projects that we were recently awarded by the State Conservation Commission.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion on that.
I move to approve the Thurston County VSP contract amendment.
Okay, moved by Betsy,
Second.
seconded by David. Betsy, how do you vote?
Aye.
David,
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
I vote aye, so that one passes. Okay, and then we're on to public comment. Is there anybody here or online or in the room?
There are no members of the public present, but as you'll see on item A there were a couple of written public comments included in your board packet regarding the Thurston County Airport, proposed Thurston County Airport.
All right, now I think I'm supposed to ask again, right? Whether there's anyone for public comment. But seeing none, I think we can move on then to the airport letter. And this is concerning the CACC's exploration of areas to place a new airport, and Thurston County, a Thurston County site or two sites. I think one site is particularly under consideration.
Yeah, there's currently only one site still under consideration. The Thurston County South site was taken off of the list. The letter that was prepared for the board to consider and presented during the work session was asking for the removal of the Thurston County Central site as well, noting the significance of agricultural lands and soils, sensitive habitat, including ESA listed prairie species, and also the cultural significance of that area to our tribal communities.
Right, and so during the work session, we discussed a letter that could be sent on Thurston Conservation District's behalf. Perhaps you'd like to list the intended recipients of the letter, Sarah.
Sure, the letter would be sent directly to the CACC. Let me pull that up there, which is the Commercial Aviation Coordinating Commission. There would be a copy of this letter provided as well to all of our local governing jurisdictions, our Board of County Commissioners, the city governments, as well as the legislators covering Thurston County, the Washington Association of Conservation Districts, the State Conservation Commission, and a copy of this as a press release to our local media outlets.
And the gist of this letter is explaining the Thurston Conservation District's opposition to the siting of an airport in this sensitive area and the reasons for that. Does anybody have any comments?
No comment, but I will make a motion that we authorize Sarah to move forward with the letter with the changes we discussed during the work session.
I'll second it.
All right, so moved by Doug, seconded by Betsy. So we'll vote. Doug,
I
Betsy,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
and I vote aye. So that one passes.
For this particular letter, I would like to send this out via DocuSign to the board and get all of the board signatures
Yeah.
on this letter before submitting.
good recommendation.
Okay. All right. I think I'm doing better than TJ here.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to partner reports. So first up, who's here? Is Rebecca here?
I'm the only one here.
Okay,
Alina's here.
all
Alina's
right.
here as well.
So yeah, so Doug,
Oh, I guess Alina's here. I didn't see her.
okay,
And
well,
Rebecca did mention that she was unable to make it.
okay, well, well, do you want to say something, Doug, about the NRCS?
No.
Do you have
not about
anything?
that. Not about
Okay.
NRCS.
He
I
was
would
just
like to-
pointing out that he's here for the others.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm not hearing you as well as I thought I was. Okay, well, Elena, would you like to give us the ecology report?
Happy to do so. Good evening, everyone. I was just, being a fly on the wall before, but I'm happy to say hello. So I'm not sure if you all are familiar with our Terry Husband grants. Normally they are offered to shovel-ready projects. There's no match requirement for them. However, due to low input into that pot of money, that's not going to be available until January unless it is for environmental emergency projects, unfortunately. If there was an environmental emergency project such as something to do with flooding, we've done that in the past in our northern counties, that would be eligible. But if it's something different, then it's going to have to wait until January of 2023. I'm particularly bummed about that because that's my usual recommendation to folks when we're trying to find funds for best management practices. If you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer those.
Any questions? No? Okay.
Well,
All right.
I hope everyone's enjoying the rain. I am personally.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Jean's not here this evening. So let's move on to Doug.
I will put a plug in for the Terry Husband stuff. I had the good fortune of working with Terry a whole lot on water issues. Tremendous guy, tremendous legacy that he's left. And the story he told was he found out how powerful the director was when Tom Fitzsimmons came and Terry spilled coffee in front of Tom Fitzsimmons' office, and they replaced the carpet the same day. So I'm not sure what the weird thing was there, but it was interesting. Just two quick things in addition to what I provided in the written report. I'd really encourage all the board members, as many as possible, to go to the WACD annual meeting in Wenatchee and also the NACD in New Orleans. You'll get to meet people from all over the country at an ACD and then all over the state WACD. And we can learn so much and make connections, and the networking is invaluable. So please really, really consider that seriously. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Well, let's queue up Sarah to tell us about the 2023 TCD election. All the things we need to think about for that.
Yeah, so in your board packets was a memo that was provided detailing the proposed election date and talking about preparations for the draft resolution that will be presented to the board in November. You'll also see reflected in my executive director's report, along with the elections memo, a recommendation that Susan Shelton serve as the election supervisor for 2023. As you well know, she trained with Nora during our 2022 election process, anticipating this sort of handoff of responsibilities to administrative department. I would also mention that the State Conservation Commission in September at their board meeting chose March as Conservation Month and are planning some media campaigns, radio and television promotion kind of stuff to support increasing awareness about conservation district elections statewide. This is really in line with the regular time of year that we typically hold our election anyway, so there's not any any additional impact to our district. So you'll see in there the proposal of March 14th as our 2023 election date, and yeah, you'll see that reflected with all of the important details that were included in that memo in a resolution in November. This is just a heads up FYI about this process that you'll see next month. Are there any questions?
No, it looked pretty straightforward. Okay, well, if there are no questions, let's move on to the next topic, which is the work session topic list for November and the
Great.
meeting agenda.
I will pull that right up. Okay. I think you can see on my screen November 15th. Can everyone see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a suggestion for number 6, the WACD resolutions. How about WACD and NACD resolutions? Because it looks like there's going to be probably 3 that are going.
Okay.
And I can just cite the relevance back to our local district for that.
Sure. Okay.
And will there be a reaction to the airport letter by then? Will there be an update maybe in your executive director's report?
Yeah, I can include any reaction to that in my executive director report for this month, and any correspondence we get, we'll include in your board packet under public comment. Or as an addendum to my director's report, depending on where it comes from.
And potential legislation, is that just kind of a review of the upcoming session then?
Yeah, as you know, bills are dropped early, or conversations come up, particularly around 2 of the hot topics: conservation district elections and riparian restoration. This is just a placeholder to continue to keep the board informed about those items as we move forward. There will be a session at WACD targeted, and even if the board, if you can't attend the meeting in Wenatchee, I would highly recommend attending the WACD session on potential or on legislation and sort of the forecasting for the next session and where budget development conversations have come. Bryn Brady is the lobbyist for WACD and gives a really good overview and then discusses sort of the plan of action for WACD. And it's a good collaborative conversation and a great way to learn, you know, what are the points that WACD is tracking that are most relevant to districts.
And as a subunit of that, I would add what the commission's up to. Too. It's not exactly the same as WACD, but awfully close.
Excuse me. So Sarah, you're saying we could attend that virtually,
Yes.
particular session? Without registering?
I think you will still have to register for the conference. But you will be a virtual attendee. There will be some cost to attend it, but I'm not clear on what that cost will be at this time.
Okay.
Well, maybe you could send out that info when it comes in.
Absolutely. If that is it for the work session, I did want to make a small change to the board meeting agenda.
Okay.
And that is, I pulled the election resolution, I think was placed on the consent agenda by staff, and I just pulled it into its own.
You know,
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Get that number too.
Okay. Anything else anybody can think of?
I think TJ needs to tell us why he's not here and that we had a meeting that was way shorter than when he runs.
Yeah.
it.
There,
Yeah.
some budget work to be done next month?
Yeah, that's included, Betsy, on the work session. We have our 2020.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry, I missed it.
And at this point in the process, we'll give an overview and then take any kind of questions, feedback, or revisions from the board. And then bring the final back in December. I am also gonna add this placeholder. In case there is a need for a continuation of executive session at the next meeting. Just to be on our radar.
Yeah, and it'd be good to have an update.
Could you scroll down to the important dates? please?
Sure.
Okay.
And now these don't have everything on them. They're not as robust as this month's, but staff will update those.
Okay.
Sarah, do you need a poll now of who's gonna go to the WACD meeting? When do you need that information?
Yeah, I would need to look at the WACD registration deadline to see when that is. But yeah, if folks are interested and they know now that they'd like to attend, that is helpful. But if folks are still thinking about it, feel free to let me know after the meeting too.
Yeah, keep in mind
Well-
with regard to that, that both WACD and NACD usually have an early bird registration, which is $100 or so cheaper.
I can send out some information following this meeting, anything that's available about both in-person and virtual attendance to the board.
Yeah, I think a couple of us at least were interested in the cost too. So, yeah.
And we do have, in case you're curious, sufficient budget still in this year's budget to support board attendance either in person or virtually for 2022.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Well, is that it, except for, do we have an executive session this evening?
We do.
Okay. Well, I guess we have to change the time frame on that. We still expect it to last about 10 minutes then?
Yes.
All right, what time
Yes.
is it now? It's 7. Okay. So, so I guess we are planning to adjourn to executive session to discuss looks like with legal counsel.
Potential
um,
litigation.
Potential litigation. The session's expected to last 10 minutes, after which we will return to this meeting. So that would make it at about 7:12, 7:11.
Can you name who will be in that executive session?
Oh, sure, I probably can. So present in the executive session will be myself, Helen Wheatley, David Ayal, Doug Rushton, Betsy DeVreda, Sarah Moorhead, I assume. Our counsel, Ben Cushman. Anybody else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. So we'll adjourn to the executive session and return at 7:12.
And supervisors, you'll see a little breakout button pop up on your screen that you will click join.
This is so difficult. Thanks, sir. Helen, I think you're still on mute.
There we go. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm sort of thrown off by the fact that TJ's not here, so we don't have as many windows as usual. All right, well, okay, so we're back from the executive session to discuss potential litigation, and no action was taken. I don't know if there's anything more I need to say about that. Is there?
The
No.
time is 7:11.
And the time, okay, well, yes, the time is 7:11. All right. Is there anything else anybody wants to say before we bring this to October meeting to an end? Happy Halloween. Happy rain. All right, well, I guess I declare this meeting adjourned.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
See
good
you
night.
next month.